Hi, Facebook. I am so happy to be on. It's exciting for me. I'm actually broadcasting from the library today. I don't know if you guys know it. It's just how my schedule kind of worked out. I'm just going to wait a little bit for people to join me if they want to. There's going to be quite a lot of information packed in here today. Yeah. So the topic of today is going to be how to be a super taxpayer. It's a new year. It's 2017. You're going to have new goals. You're going to have new things that you want to do. But you're going to need to do new strategies in order for you to achieve your goals. And I'm actually empowering you to take your goals to the next level, to take yourself to the next level. That means your mind, your mindset, your finances, your goal setting, everything. 2017 is going to be a year, but that means that you're going to need new strategies, and that is actually my goal this year. Not only for myself, but also for my firm, and also for my viewers and my clients, to help them get to a whole new level for 2017. That means new strategies, and that is where I am. I'm going to be addressing today. And so the topic of today is how to be a super taxpayer. Okay, I don't know how, if most of you are familiar with the tax code. I am, but the tax code is actually made for businesses, big businesses, and investors. And here's why. Here's the cash flow quadrant. I kind of prepared this as a show and tell for you guys. So if you're working for someone, I don't know if you guys can see that. If you're working for someone, you're going to be in here. You're an employee. And if you're a small business, like most of us are, you are going to be in here, which is a small business. Let me know if you guys can see that. Small business. And the big businesses are here, and the investors are here. Okay. Now let's explain this. Actually, let's explain this regarding the tax code. So Congress, right? Congress and our leaders, right, in our country, so they realize that they only have so much power regarding the economy. Okay, our economy is a free economy. It's capitalism. It's driven by business. The more businesses there are, the more everybody makes. The more businesses, the more investors there are, the more everybody makes. It's not just the government. Okay, all the jobs that you have is because somebody is paying for that. Somebody decided that I'm going to invest in business. I want to make more money, and so I'm going to put up money. I'm going to hustle, and then you end up getting your job through big businesses. People who are hiring people. You make your money through when somebody invests. When they invest in oil and gas production. All those people, all the engineers who are getting paid, all the accountants who are getting paid, all the lawyers who are getting paid, all the real estate people who are getting paid, it's because those people decided, hey, I want to make more money. I'm going to put up money. I'm going to hustle. I'm going to do all that stuff, right? So they basically drive the economy. Congress, IRS gets to collect taxes because those guys are investing, right? So they're basically driving the economy, and you guys can see that clearly. But Congress knows that. Congress can stimulate the economy, but it's going to go only so far, right? So they've decided that in order to keep driving the economy, which only makes sense, is actually it's basically 1 + 1 = 2, right? In order for them to keep driving the economy, for us to keep reaching higher and higher GDP, they have to give businesses and investors who create jobs, they have to give them incentives, right? And so those incentives are going to be, let's say, tax breaks, economy stimuluses. That is why they get those. That's why big businesses constantly get those. That's why people like Donald Trump can say, me not paying taxes is smart, because basically, from the tax breaks, from the way the tax code is written, it really helps them. It helps them to create more jobs, create more housing, create oil and gas for the economy, and that keeps everybody employed, right? Even though we see that, you and I, we see that as the big businesses are getting all the benefits, we're actually also getting the benefits, right? So lay off the big businesses. It's not so your goal is really not how to hate on them, how to get Congress to change the tax law, because that actually is going to hurt you. Your goal is to understand how you can be a big business, how you can be an investor that ends up in BNI. You end up getting all the tax benefits. Okay, so it's basically really understanding how the tax code is written so that these guys are enjoying all the tax benefits, and what you can do to get your to get your payday. And so now, as an employee, because the tax code is written so that the big businesses and the investors can drive the economy, Congress still needs money to finance social programs. They need money to finance the military. They need money to finance. Hi, Brendan. How are you? So good to see you. How are you? So I'm so excited that you're joining me today. So now, in order for Congress to finance the military, to finance the national security agencies, they need money. So who's going to have to pick up the slack? There's about 360 million Americans in the U.S., right? Well, only a certain portion of those are working, but the 2%, most of them, the 2% are rich, wealthy. They're the ones who are big businesses. They're the ones who are investing. They're the ones who are, driving a lot of the economy, right? So, but the fact is that they're also getting all the tax breaks. They're getting most of the tax breaks, right? So who's going to end up paying the bill is going to be the rest of us who are the 98%. And that is possible because there is a lot more of us and there's a lot more of them. So that we can, we end up paying the bill, and it's almost not quite almost sufficient for Congress to be able to meet their yearly budgets. But of course, it's not enough. That's why they need loans. That's why they need China to keep lending. That's why that's why we're always in debt, right? So anyway, my point is that you and I, we're the ones who are picking up the slack of the tax breaks to the big businesses, and we end up paying about 30 to 50% of our income in taxes, from income taxes to sales taxes to transfer taxes and all the little taxes in between, employment taxes. Yeah, we all end up picking up the slack. So now the purpose of today is how you can be a big business, how you can go from here or here to going here or here, right? And first is one, you definitely need to get a CPA who understands that, who understands the difference between, what you need to do to be just an employee, to be just a small business, to somebody who is a big business, somebody who is an investor, okay? That means that you actually have to be very, very intentional in the things that you put your money into. You have to be very, very intentional in the things that you do for a living. You have to be very intentional in how you drive your career. You have to be very intentional in basically a lot of things, and also how you work your taxes. Okay, that means that you have to start from day one. You have to start from day one, and basically you have to plan your taxes. You have to plan your taxes, and you have to be very aggressive. Kind of like if you want to lose weight, you have to be. Hi, Tyler. Hey, Spence. Oh, how are you? So good to see you. So that means that you have to be very intentional, kind of like you're losing weight. You have to go to the gym. You have to eat well. You have to make sure that you exercise. You have to make sure that you work your upper body. You have to make sure that you work your lower body. So you have to be very intentional. You have to take it step by step, and you have to make sure that it's getting done, right? So what are the things that you can do to be Tyler, I'm so glad that you can join us today. So what are the things that you can do as somebody who is going from an employee or small business so that you can end up being a big business? Well, first, so the second part, after, making sure you find a CPA who understands the difference and who can help you, who can drive you towards that. And also, understanding that you need to be very intentional about how you're orienting your finances, where you're putting your money into, is also understanding, the things that you can do, the things that you can put your money into. Like, for instance, you have to understand that oil and gas, the tax code is oriented towards people who are not in stocks. If you're investing in stocks, that doesn't really help you that much. It really doesn't. It's not one of the tax codes. It's not one of the investments that the tax code is really geared towards. If you're in, you have to put your money in real estate. Real estate, you have to put your money in a business. You have to start a business. And if you're a small business, if you already have a small business, you have to think about how can you go bigger? That means so that you can employ somebody who is working in the United States. You not employ somebody who's virtual, not employ someone who is overseas, but employ someone in the United States, because all those, that employment is going to end up getting you a tax break that basically ends up paying for those employees. Okay. And so remember when, not too long ago, that Donald Trump was talking after his election, he was talking to, God, I forgot what that company was. They were trying to move their factory overseas, right? And he ended up saving only about 830 jobs instead of 1,500 jobs. But guess what? The company ended up getting all those tax breaks anyway, about 700 million in tax breaks anyway. Well, it's really because of those 800 jobs that they're saving. Okay, it might seem like such a small thing, but guess what? They're still driving the economy, even though it's in a small way. And that can be very frustrating for people like you and me, but that's just how it works. That is how the tax code works. If that company, without those tax breaks, they can decide to move those 830 jobs. And then guess what? We're going to be in a much worse situation. So basically you have to understand that you have to take your business. If you're a small business right now, you have to take your business to a way where you can basically hire someone. You can hire someone, and you have to understand what kind of person that you need to hire. You have to understand how you need to do the hiring in order to qualify for those tax breaks. And if you're an employee, you have to start a business. You have to start a business. One, not even without the higher tax breaks, just having a business in the first place actually opens up a whole can of worms of tax breaks that you can get. Hi, Claudienne, how are you? Hi, Ian. Thanks for joining me. Thank you, Ian. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So you have to understand. How. So opening a small business actually opens up a whole lot of deductions for you to be able to deduct, which means that you can get, you can actually use your business as a loss against your actual income, right? So what does that look like? If you're an employee, and that means that you can deduct your mileage more. So if you're an employee, that you basically, your mileage goes from your job to your home, and your home to your job every day. You don't get to deduct mileage. But if you have a business, you can deduct part of that mileage. Okay, if you're open a small business, you can actually take a home deduction. You can deduct your cell phone. You can deduct your computer. Why? Because you're using all this stuff for business. So now a lot of people out there who are employees and don't know how to start a business, don't know what they ought to be doing to start a business, right? Well, there is so many things that you can do, but the trend these days that is actually going to get you to unbelievable levels is really to use the information that you already know. There's a massive need for information out there that people don't know. A lot of people struggle with a lot of things because we're born, we're babies, we're infants, right? And then you have to grow up, and your parents only know certain things, so they don't teach you what they don't know. They teach you only things they know, and sometimes not even all of that, right? But everybody has how should I say that? Everybody has goals that they want to be. Everybody wants to be successful. Nobody ever wants to say, I want to be broke. Hey, Erica, Miss Juicy Fields, how are you doing? So glad that you can join me today. So everybody basically has goals that they're trying to be. And most people end up not getting to those goals. Most people end up getting to be lazy, procrastinators, because it is hard work. Right? So what does that mean? That means that you have goals. Just because that you feel like you're lazy, you procrastinate, that means that you have goals, right? So how do you get to those? How do you, but you also have information that you know that other people don't know, right? So the biggest way that you can get, the quickest way that you can start a business is by thinking about what information do you have that you're really good at, you feel like you've mastered, that other people don't know out there. Whatever that information is, most likely there are going to be people who need that information. And that is the quickest way that you can start a business. Write out something and just start putting it out there. And before you know it, you're going to have an audience and doing all the hustling that is required in that. That is basically, that means that you can basically start getting those deductions. And of course, as a small business owner, okay, hi, Erica. As a small business owner, you are allowed to have at least 3 years. Well, the first 3 years of your business as a loss, right? So that is free money, basically. So just get your ass out there. Excuse my language. Hi, Mr. Jerry. How are you? So glad that you can join me today. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Please go ahead and like my page, like my company page, and like this video if you are enjoying it. So basically, I've lost my train of thoughts, you guys, but I will get back really quickly. So just think about the information that you don't know, or that you know that you've mastered, that you can put out there. There are going to be plenty of people who need information. Your job is basically, one, to figure out what that information is that people are going to want from you that you can give to people, and two, how you can find those people. And that is basically that is the 1-2 step of having business. Once you can master those two, that will definitely take you to different levels. And of course, then you can also take advantage of all the tax laws out there that are made for investors, that are made for big businesses, right? So yeah, that would actually. So does anybody have any questions so far for me? Mr. Jerry, do you have any questions? Erica, do you have any questions? Mr. Jerry, are you thinking about starting a business? I know you Nigerian men, you're always hustlers. No? You don't have any questions, Mr. Jerry? Okay, I will continue. So now, how can you as a small business, can you take it to a different level, right? Well, you start making money. You start making money just a little bit. You have to, first, you need to think about how you can get, first you want to think about how you can get more money, which is, government grants, how you can get loans, and also how can you take your business to the next level, right? You have to be very intentional about that. You have to be very intentional. And hi, Erica. No questions, just watching. Okay, great. Okay, so as a small business, how can you take your business to the next level, right? Again, you want to think about how can you get more customers. Basically, you have to increase your marketing. You have to make sure you have to go big with your marketing, and that also means having money. So how can you make more money to make more money, right? How can you make more money to make money? That's the trick. So because by making more money, you can then be a big business that can hire people, right? So the first thing that will make or break your business is marketing and sales. How can you market and then sell? Basically, you have to advertise. You have to advertise. And there are a lot of people who do postings. There are a lot of people who do articles, but that is not the quickest way to get business. The quickest way to get business is through Facebook marketing. There are 1.6 billion users on Facebook. I guarantee you, whoever is going to buy your product is on Facebook. Now, your trick is, how do I tap into that? Well, how do I tap into it? It's really by having the marketing funnels in place. By having marketing funnels in place, you can find out who's your audience, who's gonna want the product that you're selling, right? Then you're going to be able to target them specifically using Facebook, and then you're going to be able to get them into your funnel, which is when I say funnel, for those of you who are not in marketing, those of you who don't have small businesses, a funnel is basically how you attract your people and how you build a relationship with them, and how you sell to them without you being there all the time. Actually, well, even selling to them while you're there, that is also a funnel. It's really basically your system of talking to people, of getting prospects who are interested in your business, and talking to them and then converting them into sale. That is your funnel. But you're not really going to be able to go big if you are the one doing everything all the time. There is such a limitation to that. So what do? You may basically automate a lot of that stuff, right? So that means that you automate going on Facebook, you automate researching your market, you automate, how you put people, you bring people through your marketing, your funnel. That means that, so when they sign up, they decided that, okay, I have this thing that I'm selling and I'm interested in it, right? Then you want to get them into your email list, and then through that email list, you build a relationship with them. And with that relationship, that means that they know you, they're familiar with you, because that's really what it is, right? You don't buy from people you don't know. You don't buy from anybody. Walmart, Walmart because you've seen them over and over and over and over again. And the reason it took Amazon so long to actually start to turn a profit after they started, even though it's such a good business model, was because nobody knew them. People only buy from people they know, right? So which is why, so when you bring people into your funnel, you want to be able to talk to them without you being there all the time, which is you have to set up an email series for them to where they're constantly getting information from you. And that consistency means that they get to be more familiar with you. They get to be more familiar with you, and then you also want to have a way to sell to them that product that you're selling, right? So that's basically it. So going from employee to a business owner, right, is one, you need to think about what information do you know. Erica, for you, I know that we've talked about some things before that you told me that you do every day, that they don't have a problem with. That is something that you can definitely think about, giving out to people, to people in the world like that. There are so many people who are not in your situation, who want to be in your situation, who are, who would love to get that information from you. You can start putting out videos about that. You can start putting out information about that, and trust me that there is a huge market for that, girl. So you need to think about how you're going to be able to put that in, and for somebody like you are going to make a killing. So going from employee to a business owner, what information do you have that people want? Okay, there's tons of people who are going to want that information from you. Tons. It's really about finding them. And how do you find them? You have to understand marketing. And even as a small business owner myself, I didn't really understand marketing before, but now I do. It's really about finding the people who are your people. You have to have an image of who are going to be those people who want that information. It's going to be a certain kind of people. How do you find them? What do they do? Where do they go to? Who do they listen to? What kind of blogs do they read? Because those are the places where you can find them at. If they're reading a blog, they're going to be on somebody's blog constantly. If they're watching television, they're going to be on that television constantly. That's how you find them. So you want to target your advertising to those areas where you can find your audience, and then you want to build your sales funnel so that you can attract them. And that is basically how you can go from big business, right? And of course, your sales funnel, there's actually a way to build your sales funnel so that your sales funnel pays for itself, right? First, in order for you to start your funnel, you're going to have to bring in money, right? But then you can build it so that it is self-generating. And that is how you basically build a passive income, when you can set up everything and you never have to be there. That is how you build passive income. And that is how you end up becoming a big business, right? And you can even get started. You can get started for 500. You can get started for 1,000, right? So anyway, the point is how to be a big business. So once you get all your sales funnel going, then you want to think about what are the things that you can put your money, and you start making money. Where are the things that you can put your money that it's going to get you into big business mode, right? Which is big business and investor. Can you guys see this? Give me a yes or no if you can see this. I don't know if I can say this. So big business. So you see that? Big business. Yes, big business and investor, right? That's your cash flow quadrants, So right now you're here, you're an employee and you're a small business, but you want to be here. You want to be here, right? So you've set up so you've discovered your product, you've discovered your market, you've discovered how you're going to attract your market. Then you start deducting all those crazy expenses. And then the next thing, how do you be a big business and an investor? Well, you want to put your money, you want to start finding people who are doing oil and gas contracts, people who are doing real estate, people who are hiring people. Basically, those are the people who are gonna be able to help you, especially with oil and gas, because oil and gas is very capital intensive. You have to have a lot of money, right? So you can basically do a syndication where you put your money with a lot of other people, so that means that you don't need to come up with all the capital by yourself. And that is one way to get into oil and gas. Or you can buy a land and sell it to an oil and gas company, and then you can retain the mineral rights on that, and you can basically generate income from that for life. As long as it's producing oil, you can be making money for life. That's another way to get into oil and gas. And then you also want to understand how do you go bigger with your marketing. If you're a small business right now and you're marketing, you've got your marketing engine going, you've got your sales engine going, you're making money without having to be there. Oh man, how wonderful would that be if you can make money, you never have to be there. You could be sleeping and making money. That is a dream. So now you got your marketing and sales funnel. They're going. How do you be a big business? Well, how do you be a big business? Is that money that you're making, that money that you start making, that you need to put it into making, into targeting more people. You want to target more people in your business, and that's basically how you be a big business. And then you want to hire someone who can manage some of that for you. You can hire someone who can do other things for you, and that's how you be a big business. You can hire someone who can do several other things for you, right? There's so many ways. And once you start making money without having to be there, life changes for you. Life becomes a whole different animal, a whole different ball game. Hi, Mike Brisky. Wow, long time. I was one of my HWS guys. How are you, my college guys? So once you understand, once you start making money without having to be there, life becomes a whole different ball game. You can basically do whatever you want. You can go wherever you want. You can be wherever you want, right? So, and that is the true meaning of financial freedom. So then you start making the money and you're you start making your money and you never have to be there. How do you go bigger? That means that you have the money to invest in other things. That means you can decide that maybe you want to open a company in China. Maybe you want to open, you want to have people go there. You want to have expats there. That's how you be a big business. Maybe you want to decide, maybe you want to be, a competitor to Amazon, a competitor to Walmart. Maybe you want to decide that you want to, build a software company. Maybe you want to decide that you want to build a clothing company. Maybe you want to decide that you want to be a fashion lady, right? Like Erica, I think that's going to be you. So I think, so that is basically, but you need to farm out that work. And because you have the money, you can afford to do that. And because you can afford to do that, and then you end up doing that, then you actually get the tax breaks to do that. So you see how rich people end up making more money. The rich keep getting richer and the poor getting poorer. I mean, so you as a employee and small business, right? You barely make money, right? And then you're paying for the big guys to, you're paying the taxes for the big guys. So the little money that you're making, you're giving it to them so that they can make more money, right? You see how the poor get poorer, and it's all part of the wheel that that keeps poor people getting poor. But it's really just about understanding how all these things work, how our tax code is for big businesses. Right here, this is where the money is at. And that's why the tax code is oriented, because they drive the economy. Big businesses can hire people. Big businesses can they create energy. They're the oil and gas companies. They're the Wall Street guys. They're the investor, the real estate investors. They're the ones who are driving the economy. When they provide housing, when they provide energy, when they provide jobs, they're driving the economy. And so IRS needs help. I mean, Congress needs help to be able to do that. So they give them tax breaks so that they can do that. And because of the tax breaks, they can do more of it, right? And of course, we want to hit on them. I want to hit on them. And because thanks, Mike. Yes, I'm trying. It's a new year. We need to start thinking differently. We need to start thinking like we're really serious about wealth goals, about our financial goals. And because we are, excuse me, because we are, we're small businesses and we don't really have the resources, we end up paying their bill, right? We end up paying their bill, and of course they pay us, they pay us the salary, but guess what? That salary is also chopped up because we end up having to pay them back with their tax breaks and all that stuff. But thing is, I want to be different. I want 2017 to be different for me. I want it to be different for my business. I want it to be different for you. So how do we do that? We learn the strategies that they're using to get to the next level. We learn the strategies that they're using to take advantage of the rest of us. To take advantage of the tax code, to take advantage of of being who they are, which is smart thinkers. They're smart thinkers. They can afford expensive CPAs. They can afford. Remember when Donald Trump said it was smart for him to not pay taxes? Well, that was actually very true. So now, Mike, do you have any questions? So Mike, tell me a little bit about your goals. Kind of type something for me. I'm sure you have goals. Everybody has goals. Everybody wants to have a better life. That is a part of what makes us, that's a part of what makes us human. We want better life. It's ingrained into us, just like breathing is ingrained into us. We all want better lives, right? So we just have to work for it. So how do you do that? You go from being an employee to being a small business. Then you go from a small business to a big business, and then when you're a big business, you can start investing, and that is basically it. So now, if nobody has any questions, of course, if you do have any questions, you can feel free to PM me. I am all talked out. I am very passionate about this. I definitely want to make a difference in people's lives this year. I want to see people just shatter the glass ceilings. I want to see people really see life, really see the life that they never imagined could actually materialize. I want that to materialize for them. I want them to see how magnificent, how beautiful, how delicious life can be, right? And it really starts with understanding a lot of the things that we were not born knowing all these things. So we have to really hustle to learn all this stuff, okay? So now, if you guys have any questions, yes, absolutely. So what kind of work do you do, Mike? Absolutely, you're definitely starting. You're starting from the E quadrant, which is being an employee, to figuring out how what can you offer the market, and then Your next step is really understanding how to package that and then how to offer it to people, right? Wow. Hi, Miss Tanuja. Now Tanuja is another business owner right there. She is definitely a hustler. Hmm. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You're a lab supervisor. Okay, wow. Awesome. Cool. You want to build a network. Hi, Tanuja. You want to build? Yeah. Okay. So do you have a way of doing that? So one of the things that you can definitely do to go from being an employee to being a business owner, Mike, would be, once you figured out how to be a networker, that is something people need. That there is so much need for that. You can start putting information out there on what you're learning, and you don't have to master it to be able to get people interested. People want to know from basics to basically how to be masters, right? So you can start from what you learn. And even a lab supervisor, remember when we went to HWS and we didn't get, I feel like I didn't get the work. I feel like I didn't get the help that I need to be able to be successful as somebody who wants to be a researcher. I wanted to be a researcher. I wanted to be in medicine. I wanted to explore careers as a biochemist, right? But I never got that help. That is something that you can put out there for college students, for high school students who can understand that. Yeah, but so that is something that you can put out there as a lab supervisor. What does it take to be successful as somebody who is interested in that field, right? Somebody who wants to do something that you want to do. That is the information people are going to want. I mean, how people want to know how to be successful at things that they're doing, at things that they're interested in. And that's basically how you start from being an employee. And the cost, hello, Ricardo. We're getting some HWS alumni over here. Hello, so good to see you guys after all this time. Hobart and William Smith, how are you guys doing? Years and years ago. So one of those ways is, so people want to know how to be successful in the things that they're doing, and that is the market right there. So how do you go from being an employee? Figure out what people want. Figure out what you have that you can offer to people, and put it out there and keep finding people who are going to want that. And that is how you become a small business. And from that small business, you can be a big business. And from that big business, you can be an investor. Yes, good to see you too, Ricardo. So good to see you guys. So Tanuja, what are you up to? So Tanuja she is the owner of Love Bites, very, very delicious baked goods here. Actually, she gives you the ingredients and then you can make it at home, and they're so good. And she is hustling. She's hustling her behind, Miss Tanuja there. So what are your goals? Do you want to share? So good to see you guys. Ricardo, what about you? What are you up to? Does nobody feel like sharing? You're leaving me hanging here. Tanisha, how's business going? Or am I putting you on the spot? I know it takes you guys some time to type this stuff out, so just kind of let me know. I'm gonna wait a little bit because I really want you guys to get this, to understand how this can work for you. I mean, it's gonna seem like a mountain, but it is. You just have to keep learning it. You have to keep being relentless at it. You have to keep chasing it like you've got your pants on fire, basically. And also, I wanted to kind of tell you guys what's going on with me as well. So, like I said, so my year is it's kind of been a lot of ups and downs. I opened my business, and it's kind of been ups and downs with learning marketing for myself. It's been, I mean, at first, I kind of had I had a mental breakdown because the marketing was too much. I'd never done anything like that before. The marketing was too much, and so I basically had a mental breakdown, and I actually had to get myself back on by my pants and say, hey, girl, you can do this. It seems like it's difficult. It seems like it's hard. It seems like it's impossible, but I can do this. And I'm finally at that space where I am doing it. I am doing it. And also the other thing that I'm also working on is really how to manage myself so that I can get to my goals of 1 million this year. How to get to my goals of 1 million this year. So, I mean, the things that I'm dealing with is I'm finding the discipline. Discipline is really hard. Goal setting is really hard. Just getting up in the morning and just putting on my business mind, putting on my go-getter mind, putting on my hustler's mind. That is difficult, right? So I basically have to find a system that is going to get me, no matter how I'm feeling, that's going to get me up, that's going to get me in the shower, that's going to get me in front of the computer, that's going to get me just pushing through the day like somebody's chasing me. And that is basically how I'm starting to see results in my business. That is how, when I was doing it passively, just kind of letting whatever happens, nothing was happening. Absolutely nothing was happening. No matter what I did, nothing was working. But as soon as I started, just being very intentional, being very relentless, and making sure that I am driving, literally, kind of like driving a car every single day, every minute of the day. And when it felt like that, that's when I start to see results. So hi, Jason. Hey, Jason is a real estate investor. And actually, if you're thinking about investing, Jason would definitely be one of those guys. I am an accountant, which is why I've been talking about taxes all day. So Jason is a real estate investor. If you guys are thinking about putting your money into investment, Jason is definitely going to be very, very interested in talking to you. I know that for sure. Yes, exactly. But sometimes it is so difficult to feel like that when you're in the thick of it. It really doesn't feel like that. It feels like the whole world is trying to get you. It feels like you're trying to get you. It feels like your goals are trying to get you. It feels like your mindset is trying to get you. That is how it feel like. So you have to. So if you're gonna go from an employee to a business owner, right? Jesse can attest to this. Tanisha can attest to this. You have to drive it like a car. It has to be very intentional. You don't just leave your hands off the steering wheel, right? You're not going to go very far. You don't just leave your hand, your foot off the gas, right? That is how it is. You have to be very intentional about that. Okay. So I actually have to start wrapping up here because I'm actually due at a networking event in 20 minutes. So again, if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and email me. I would definitely love to chat with you guys to see what each and every one of you is doing, so that we can start getting you into getting to your goals, into really making 2017 a very, very different year, a year where abundance is you become abundance itself, right? So again, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and email me. I will definitely leave my email in the comments there. So appreciative of you guys being here, joining me today. This was definitely a lot of fun. I love talking about this stuff. I love being a business owner, and I definitely want every one of you to feel that, to feel the power that comes with that. So thank you guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.